Okay. Okay. I started also from, my master itself, but at the beginning of my master,
Yeah.
I would not tell lie, okay,
Okay, okay.
because
Yeah.
many teachers say, or many students also say that they have already started for 3 months or 2 months and they cleared, but I will not
No,
tell
no,
it,
no,
okay,
it's
because
not possible.
yes,
Yeah.
now, first, my topic is literary criticism, okay. So you have already started literary criticism in your like post graduation, I guess, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, we had in our syllabus like uh, in like dramatic poesy written by John Dryden, also Samuel Taylor Coleridge, the Biographia Literaria, and some works like
Yeah.
Matthew Arnold's work like Hebraism, Hellenism. Like if you are coming from, I don't know which university you are coming from, but I'm from university from West Bengal. So here,
Okay.
like yes, because their syllabus prescribed that all the units. So if you like have any kind of idea of literary criticism, then I think it will be great. But still, I have to clear something, and that is, you know, criticism actually came from the Greek civilization, right? When like the Greek civilization was experiencing the marvelous works of Sophocles, Euripides, Aeschylus, Aristophanes. Okay, these
Yeah,
are
yeah.
all
Aristotle and
Aristotle,
Plato, I guess.
Plato. Yes, these were all the like Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates. These three were the
Hmm.
philosophers. These were the
Okay.
diplomat. And Euripides, Aristophanes, Aeschylus. These were all the like tragedians and comedians. Okay. Now,
Hmm. Hmm.
as nowadays, if we start reading Homer's Iliad, Odyssey, we will not understand anything. Why? Because first
Yeah,
of all,
yeah.
these are all written in a different language. Okay, so
Yes.
these critics, okay, like Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates, these critics
Hmm.
studied about all the works, okay, like Homer, Aeschylus, and they found a way to interpret these works in in a literature perspective, and that is
Hmm.
criticism. Okay, that is criticism.
Okay.
They judged, okay, whether these works were good or bad. If bad, then
Hmm.
in which side. So that is criticism.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And so the first question comes like, what do you mean by criticism? The criticism is criticism means to judge. Okay. And like
Hmm.
the word, Greek word, okay, that is krites, krites or krites, okay, whatever the pronunciation would be.
Okay.
So that is the
Hmm.
actual word from where the English word criticism,
Word
yes,
expression. Hmm.
is coming. Now the second thing is that you know like what are the qualities that make one person a critic, okay, and who can
Hmm.
make a criticism, okay, who can make a judgment. See, we nowadays, though, we judge anybody. Okay, we even judge a food
Yeah.
of a restaurant. That, oh no no, that
Hmm.
dish was not that much good, and that dish was good.
Hmm.
So that is kind of
Hmm.
our criticism. But
Hmm.
the critics like Samuel Johnson, okay, that what can I say? The great critics like Samuel Taylor Coleridge and also Alexander Pope, John Dryden, they studied a lot of things, okay. For example, John Dryden had studied about Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, okay, and
Hmm.
he
Hmm.
once remarked that Geoffrey Chaucer is kind of a diamond who need to be polished, okay. So how they made all the critic, like all the judgment, by reading many things, okay, many things. They
Hmm.
read
Hmm.
a lot of works, and that's how they got that judgment. But if we want to judge
Hmm.
any works, then we also have to read a lot of works, okay.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so the qualities that, first of all, you have to read many works, then you can only give a judgment, okay. And
Hmm.
if you find the biographies of all the critics now, if you find that how Alexander Pope made the criticism, you will see that
mm,
he was a voracious reader. Okay, he was
mm,
somehow physically ill, and that's why he used to study in his own room, and he studied many classical works like Horace, the Ars Poetica. Okay, he was a fan of Horace. Okay,
mm, mm,
so you can
mm.
understand that until we study a lot of things, we cannot give a judgment, especially in literary
Yeah.
world. Now
Mm,
the third question comes that, okay, now we understood what is criticism, we understood that what whom we can call a critic. Now what is the use of
mm,
criticism? Okay, what is the use? See, there is a work, okay, written. There is a work called Dover Beach. Uh, do you know
mm.
the work? It's written by Matthew Arnold. Okay, so
Okay.
you know that Matthew Arnold was a poet who came during Victorian age, right? And
Mm.
Victorian age was experiencing, industrialization. Then
Yeah.
they were discovering all the machines that we nowadays that we are get used of. So
Mm,
he was experiencing that time when people started deriving their mind from romanticism to directly industrialization. Okay, they
mm,
started
mm,
they stopped first thinking about imagination, then they started thinking about getting money, more money. And all
mm,
the industries were at that time established. So Matthew Arnold
mm,
was saying that nowadays we are experiencing the alienation, the isolation that we are getting now. Okay, just because the
mm,
people running behind the money. And and at that time
mm.
the middle class also getting their importance at that time. Okay, middle class actually
Mm.
arised in the time of Victorian age. Okay, because before that it was aristocracy and the common people, but not middle class.
Mm,
So
mm,
Matthew Arnold was a great critic. Okay, and before that he
mm,
was also a poet. So he wrote
mm,
a poem like Dover Beach. So I'm reading few lines of Dover Beach. The sea is calm tonight, and the tide is full, and the moon lies fair. Upon the straits on the French coast, the light and gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering the and vast, out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window, sweet is the night air. So this is simple a poem. Okay, if as you don't know the poem, right? But still I'm asking
mm,
that, okay, you take the book and you read the poem and tell me what is written here. So
mm,
you will see that, okay, the sea is calm tonight. So you can understand that
mm,
it is a a poem that is simply an image, okay, that the poet is telling, the poet is writing. And the tide is full. Okay, the sea is
mm,
also in his own moment, and the moon lies fair. I mean,
mm,
the moon is also looking good. Simple.
mm,
But if I am
mm,
asking you that criticize the work, okay, understand that what kind of poem it is, what kind of rhyme the poem has used, and
mm,
what you can find, any social context, any political context in the poem, or any psychoanalytic context. So I am asking you to criticize. Now,
mm,
if the criticism, if we would not have any criticism like of thing, so perhaps
mm,
we are ending up with only a text in our hand. We
mm,
perhaps could have not understood anything beyond a text. So if we have now
mm,
criticism, then we have a weapon. Okay, we can criticize the
mm,
work. And
mm,
if you read a work like Homer, as I told you, Iliad and Odyssey,
mm,
so you will see that you will more understand the work by the criticism of Plato, Aristotle. Whereas you cannot
mm.
read or understand the work by reading it by yourself. So that is the thing, that is the place, I think, where the criticism works. Okay, if you read any kind of criticism of any work, then you will understand the work in a better way. So that is the
Hmm.
place where criticism works. Now there are so many contexts, okay, that many critics have given in the work of Dover Beach, okay, that at that time, as I told you, here is a line, very impressive line, and I am telling you. So here Arnold was reacting against a mechanical and industrial society which prided itself its own progress, and the only
Hmm.
security left is that the personal relationship. Okay, so
Hmm.
this is the simple, okay, thing. But see, in
Hmm.
fact the poem is very much conditioned by its historical context, a context that governed by the French Revolution. You know that 1789, okay, when
Yeah.
when the Victorian age was going through, at that time the French Revolution was also there in
Yeah.
1789. Okay, and French Revolution
Hmm.
changed many things because the people got the right to vote, like franchise,
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and that time the rise to power of the middle classes through much of Europe. Okay, as I told you, the
Hmm.
rise of middle class also started from Victorian age. So maybe Arnold is saying that, Arnold is expressing his despair over the rise of middle class society, because middle class society has its own narrowness. Okay, they cannot find any kind of romanticism in anything, they only run behind the money. So perhaps
Hmm.
also Arnold is lamenting for that. So that is kind of criticism. Okay,